right, we made it to Friday, and we are done for a while. We're going to go on break next week, so that's exciting. So hang with me. We're going to wrap up here. We are moving on to another type of graph, which is line graphs. Now, bar graphs are really great at comparing data. Line graphs work really well to show data over time. So you guys can see here, this graph is a line graph, and it shows how the temperatures, now notice they're in Celsius, okay? It shows us how the temperatures have compared through this week, Sunday through Saturday, okay? And we can really see, with line graphs, we can really see over time how things have risen, how things have fallen, and it's very helpful. So, looking at number 1 here, we are going to read some line graphs, and then we are going to construct some line graphs. So, number 1 says, which day of the week was the warmest? So, looking here, which day of the week was the warmest? Well, we see all the temperatures over here, and the one that is highest is Monday, right? Number 2 says, how much did the temperature increase between Thursday and Saturday? All right, so from Thursday to Saturday, how much did it increase? Well, what was the temperature on Thursday? Here on Thursday, it was what? Hopefully you see this. It's 19 on Thursday, so we'll just put a little 19 there. And then on Saturday, it was what? Go ahead and read the graph. We go to Saturday, follow it up, and there's the point. Over would be 27 degrees. So from 19 to 27, how much of an increase is that? Or how could you find that? Well, you could do 27 minus 19, or you could just count up from 19 to 27. And go ahead and find that if you haven't yet. What is the increase there? It is 8 degrees. So it increased 8 degrees. In number 3, between what days did the temperature decrease? Well, from Sunday to Monday, it rose, right? It increased. Then on Monday, it decreased. Tuesday decreased. Wednesday decreased. And then it stopped, right? So we would say between Monday and Thursday. All right, let's move to another one. Now, up here, we are going to draw a line graph, okay? And we are going to map out these temperatures here. So first thing we want to do when we're drawing a line graph is to make the points and then draw the line in. So first of all, we have the dates of these of them here, and then we have the temperatures on that date. All right, so let's fill these in. So on January 5th, it was 30 degrees. So 1-5, 1 is January, right? 5 is the 5th. So on 1-5, we have 30 degrees. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go up to 30 degrees, make my point there. All right. On 1-6, or January 6th, it was 35. So I'm going to come over here. Now, is there a 35 over here? No. So you are going to have to estimate to your best of your ability. So between 30 and 40, exactly in the middle is 35. So I'll just put it as precise as possible. Then moving to January 7th is 40 degrees. So on the 7th, we'll put a dot on 40. Now it was the same temperature on the 8th. So we'll draw another point there. And then lastly, January 9th is 25. And again, 25 is not here, but we'll estimate. From there, we need to draw our line in. Now, we only connect the dots out here. Do not draw any lines to connect it back over here. Just connect the dots that are out here. So draw straight lines. Don't make it curved between them. It should be straight between the sets of points as much as possible. And we have a line graph. We can see that the temperature gradually increased throughout the week and then dropped at the end. All right, moving to our next example. In this one, we have a double line graph. We can see, again, there's a key given to us here. We have male, right? And we have female. Again, and I didn't point this out yet, but I should have. We see a label, the top, factory employees. We see 2 labels down here, or a title up here, I should say, and 2 labels down here. We have the year, and then we have the number of employees, okay? And if we go back to our first problem, I should have pointed that out. Here we have the days of the week, and we have the temperature. And this one didn't give us a title, which sometimes happens. I pulled this one off the internet. They could give a title like temperatures for the week or something. So let's take a look at this. So first of all, we're just going to do some reading on this graph. Number 1 says, which year had the greatest number of female employees? Well, we know the key tells us that the pink line is the female employees. So looking here, where was the greatest number of female employees? What year? Well, we can see it is at its highest in 2006. Okay. Number 2 says, how many employees worked in the year 2003? Well, back in 2003, there were how many female employees? Well, there were 150. Is that all the workers that worked there? No, there were also male employees, right? So in 2003, there were 150 females, and there were 300 male employees, right? So how can we find the total number of people that worked there? Well, we'll add them up. And we can probably do this one mentally. If not, write it off over to the side. And if we want to write it off over to the side, we'll line it up like this. And we get what? We get 450 employees. All right, number 3, which year had 225 male and female employees altogether? This one's a little bit different. Which year had 225 male and female employees all together? Well, we know in 2003, we just did that. There were 450, right? So it wasn't that year. Now, we could go through and add all of these up, or we could kind of use some estimation here or some knowledge we can see. So first of all, 225 total. So let me ask you this. If there's more than 225 males, can we automatically know there's no way that that would work to total males and females to 225? Yeah, so here we see there's already 225 males. If we add 75 females, is that going to go over 225? Yes. Here we can see in 2005 there were 450 males. Is there any way that we can add the males and the females and get 225? No. What about when there's 375 males? No. What about when there's 300 males? No, we still couldn't add those up. So let's check and see if it works this year. So in 2008, there were 150 male employees. And in 2008, there were 75 female employees. Let's add these up and see if it works. Now, technically it should, right? It's the only one that's left, but we're going to double check in case we made a mistake. We have 5. 5 and 7 give us 12, and 1 and 1 give us 2. So yes. Now, our answer is not 225. That's what they gave us, but the year would be 2008. Number 4, what is the difference between the number of male and female employees during the year 2004? So looking at 2004, we see 225 male. How many female in 2004? We see 75. And they say, what is the difference? Difference means what? Subtract. So we're going to have to write this off over here. 225 minus 75. 5 minus 5 is 0. We borrow here. 12 minus 7 is 5. And 1 minus nothing is 1. So the difference is 150. All right, let's move to number 5. Between what years did the number of female employees decrease? So looking here, between what years did the number of female employees decrease? Well, we start off here. From here to here, female employees decrease. So we could say from 2003 to 2004. Then we see increase, 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 increase. Now it starts dropping, decreasing, right? So from 2006, now it decreased to 2007. Did it decrease again? Yeah, so we could say from 2006 to 2008 was also a decrease. All right, and that is our lesson. You have made it to the homework. Let's take a look at the homework. Now, this is itty bitty. I'm sorry about that, but I think you should be able to read it on your version, or you can zoom in. So the problem here, very, very, very small, but we can read it. If I can read it, I think you guys can read it, right? The Island Middle School and the Eden Middle School collect all the aluminum beverage cans for recycling at the end of each year. The data shows the weight of cans in pounds recycled from 2008 to 2013. Read the data carefully. Make an appropriate scale and draw a double line graph. Also label the axes and write a title for the graph. So you guys can see here they gave you a spot to make the labels and the title, and we're going to get set up with this. I'm going to help you get set up because we need to make the scales here, and I'll leave the rest for you to do. So first of all, what is the title of this graph? What could we make the title for the graph? So reading back through the problem, we could call it aluminum can recycling. Thanks. Okay. Then our labels on our axes, what are they going to be? What are the two things that we're comparing? Well, we have the years, right? And we can kind of think back to the one we just did. Remember, the years were along the bottom, and then we have the number of cans, so we can put that off over here. So let's use that. So down here, we're going to put the year. And over here, we are going to put the number of cans. Okay, now we've got to fill in our labels. So first of all, the years. In this chart, we see 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013. So let's fill that in. We labeled this side year, so let's fill that in. 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, and 2013. Along this side is the number of cans. Now we have the numbers that go all the way up to 900. Is there room to count by ones? Clearly not, right? So what should we count by here? Any ideas? I know I can't hear you, but I want you to be thinking of them. What could we use? Counting by twos is not going to work. We're going to need something much bigger. I think we're going to have to count by 100. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and we can put 1,000. All right, so this is all set up for you. You are going to need to make a key, okay, because we have two schools here. We have Island Middle School and Eden Middle School. Okay, so think about how you're going to make your key, which color you're going to use for each. Then remember, create your point. So 2008, 700. So 2008, 700. Make all of your points, connect one line. That'll be Island Middle School, and then make all your points and connect the other one, Eden Middle School. And that is your homework. When you're finished, submit it to me. Thanks. Have a good weekend.